Right around this time, he's the CEO of Lowrey Financial Group and the host of Mass Wealth Radio. It's heard here on WATD every Wednesday evening at 8. His mission is to advise pre-retirees and retirees on how to obtain financial freedom in retirement.
Hey, Jake. Good morning.
Good morning, you two. How are you?
Doing great.
Yeah.
How you been, Jake?
I've been well. It was a good week. The sun was out a lot, so that was nice. And everything's good. Everything's good, considering circumstances.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, the sun and the birds, that absolutely helps the mood quite a bit.
I like the earlier, the more sunlight. Yeah, absolutely. I love the sunrise. It's been beautiful. So you got to take the positive with what's going on. We're all trying to get through this. And so one of the things that you talk about in your show, Mass Wealth Radio, on Wednesday nights at 8, you talk a lot about your financial freedom analysis. So I was wondering if you could tell our listeners what this entails.
Yes, of course. So the financial freedom analysis is what I use to assure I'm performing my fiduciary responsibility for our families when they come in. It has nothing to do with making recommendations. It's all based upon our discovery we perform. Actually, my analyst performs for us. So we use a third-party software, so there aren't any biased opinions. But it ultimately will perform a stress test, which will point out the current risk you're taking on your portfolio versus the reward you're receiving, the average rate of return since the inception of your investments, the fees you're paying, even the hidden fees that aren't necessarily disclosed on our statements when we receive them, and overall the pros and cons of your portfolio. So it also includes the Social Security Analyzer. What I would tell the listeners, if you have not elected Social Security as of yet, this is an awesome tool for you. It's a 21-page document that will really give you it will explain to you the best strategies that you could potentially take in electing Social Security. So, with that said, it's a $2,500 value, but we offer to all of our listeners at no cost. So if you're interested in having that performed on your portfolio, you can give my team a call, and we can run through that, and we'll be giving our information, I'm sure, at the end of this segment, of course.
Now, Jake, I heard you say fiduciary responsibility. I feel like this is something we hear a lot. Can you talk a little bit about what that actually means?
Yes, of course. So financial advisors, attorneys, and even physicians all have a fiduciary duties and or responsibilities. What this means is we are legally bound to put our clients' best interest first when diagnosing and or making recommendations. This is actually a legal obligation that insurance professionals, stockbrokers, and other financial professionals don't legally have to follow. So in my opinion, it's very important that when you are electing to work with an advisor that you make sure that they are a fiduciary. Let me just give you a quick example. Mm-hmm. If I didn't have a fiduciary responsibility, you could literally walk into my office, and before reviewing your financial situation and finding out what your real true needs are, wants, and goals, I could just start making recommendations or give you a written template plan, even before making any discovery. And obviously I would not be fulfilling a fiduciary responsibility by doing that. So, the recommendations that would be obviously an unethical situation as far as I'm concerned. I think everybody should have a fiduciary responsibility when rendering advice. So therefore, that's why we perform the analysis and discovery first, and then based on those results, we build a custom plan that is specific to the client's needs.
All right. Well, Jake, okay, so it sounds like having the financial freedom analysis performed could potentially give our listeners the knowledge they might be seeking to assure they're heading down the right path?
Yeah, there's no question about it. We perform this analysis for everybody, for all of our families that inquire with us, whether they become a client or not. I like to pay it forward to families that come in, so if they just want to have that done and they don't become a client, that's completely fine. At least they'll have the knowledge and education of what they have in their portfolio, because a lot of families, they they really are unsure. I say, they get their statements in the mail and they cross their fingers and, open it up and make sure, okay, I made some money, or maybe I'm concerned at this time. But when you have that confidence to know what you actually are invested in and what you have, it goes a long way. Like during this pandemic, during this time, I can literally count on one hand how many clients I've had call in. We have over 500 clients that have had concerns or questions, because we are constantly educating our clients, and they say, okay, Jake told me this, so I know I'm good.
Yeah. Oh boy, wow. Yeah. Well, folks listening may have more questions and may want to get in touch with you. And how do they do that?
So we're still conducting the 15 to 30-minute conference calls. We call them the get to know one another calls, right? It's very important that we both have a level of comfort with one another before taking the next steps in the process. On this call, I'll ask you what your concerns are, your current financial, if you have financial concerns. I'd like to discuss your income plan for retirement if you have one. That's a big thing that a lot of families don't have, is an income plan in retirement, and it's shocking to me because that's so important to have that. It gives them that confidence in spending and living out their retirement dreams, and so. If they're interested in that, you can call our team. Our main office is located on Derby Street in Hingham, and they can call 781-385-7263. Just let my team know that you heard the show this morning and you'd like to schedule a call with me. Again, that number is 781-385-7263, or you can look us up online at LowreyFinancial.com. That's Lowrey Financial.com.
All right. You can tune in to Jake Lowrey, the host of Mass Wealth Radio, every Wednesday evening at 8 right here on 95.9 WATD.
Thank you, Jake. Always great to chat with you.
Yes, we'll talk to you next Friday. Have a wonderful week. All right. Bye-bye.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.